The Accra metropolis is under siege from mounting heaps of garbage that now threatens the health and very livelihood of residents. Overnight, the city seems to generate more waste rapidly, apparently due to the surge in rural-urban migration, coupled with an increase in the use of plastics. The headquarters of the International Central Gospel Church near Old Fadama is the hardest hit by the menace in recent times. Another report by Rebekah Awuah.
The capital city generates as much as 2,800 metric tons of waste daily. Out of this, 2,200 is collected, leaving a constant backlog of 600 metric tons of waste, which almost always finds its way into public drains and water bodies. And like any developing nation, the issue of sanitation and waste management has become a challenge for government and city authorities alike. The knock-on effect is the outbreak of cholera and other communicable diseases, which is an albatross around the neck of city authorities as refuse is dumped in any available spot. Old Fadama is the largest slum in Accra, and many governments have threatened the squatters with eviction. Nearby is the International Central Gospel Church, Christ Temple. Its entire surroundings have virtually been consumed by filth. Meet Abu Karim, one of the caretakers at this dumping site.
This is no big issue. The scrap dealers and onion sellers contracted us to do this. There is a pit that was dug here some time back, and the idea was to move the traders from the streets, but the area earmarked for the resettlement is muddy. So tricycle owners were permitted to dump refuse into the pit to fill it up.
Last week
It will then be covered with sand for the traders to relocate there. However, we realized that the big trucks have started dumping here, but the Accra mayor has assured us that he will put an end to this and redirect the government trucks to the dumping sites.
Not only are tricycle pushers the perpetrators of this act, big trucks were spotted also engaged in this act. Asked whether he knew about a problem at Accra's major landfill site, which has warranted the piling up of garbage at the center, Abu was quick to say no, but added that a major cleanup in the city center, as told him by his chairman, had necessitated this. So in Akan, I asked him what he thinks the consequences might be if people continue to dump refuse indiscriminately.
Say we are where say cholera ba and air pollution so ewo honom nkrofo etete area hanom me hu say asori bi nso ben yen wo hanom zesia wo susu say so man be yesa den sunsuan so potin na de bebre nkrofo a eti area no mu a omu di dwa ebinom nso fie ben ha asori nso wa ha sunsuan so ben na wo susu say de bebre omo
any the problem pa.
This is a very big problem. We ought to push this refuse real quick, but for now we can't say it will be done anytime soon. This is our area. When people first settled in Konkomba, they wind the sand here to build. So now who are you expecting to fill the pits? As residents, we have to show some commitment for the government to come in and later support us. As for the church, they have complained several times, but they have come to understand that the pit needs to be covered. The church leaders initially stopped me from doing the work, but the issue now is that the stench from the heap of refuse is unbearable. That is how come people's attention have been drawn here.
Household places of convenience are non-existent in the community, and thus residents rely completely on public latrines, which are also inadequate for the teeming number of squatters. This partly accounts for the high incidence of open defecation in the community, with its obvious consequences. The mess and the nauseating stench from the heaps are of grave concern to residents and the church alike.
This really affects us a lot as a church. We usually chase perpetrators away anytime we see them. Sometimes we discipline them ourselves because there are places of convenience here, but they simply refuse to use it because of the meager amount of 10 pesos or 20 pesos they have to pay. If the police can assist us in this bit, we shall be grateful. Those who defecate in the open can be fined when caught or put behind bars for at least 3 to 6 months. There is a church close by, food and animal sellers. This practice must stop.
With the open choked drains and pools of stagnant water, many worry about the effect on health.
There is quite a distance between the refuse site and the chapel, but flies usually disturb us during service.
By 2 of the by Bacono into me, Jumani, it's almost some befacoy by Akabaco, Bacuni Sionosono, and no quantity to me bread.
But if we can be provided with additional bulldozers, it will really help us because one of the 2 that were brought for this course has broken down. If we can get an additional machine, we will be grateful.
Those are near Baco penalty. Into me piano ye. Tis on to me in Penifon to me, ama those and Baquabe Cajon. I'm here to me piano year. Kebeboy. Ama once running near my call as a refiono. Ketubi trap.
We had a telephone conversation with the Chief Executive of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, when efforts to get him to speak to our camera proved futile. So, Mr. Vanderboy, what prompted or necessitated the redumping of refuse behind the Christ Temple of the ICGC at Old Fadama?
There's nothing like redumping. The people who, the illegal refuse collectors, those who use the tricycles, they have been dumping there. There's no official dumping over there, but those who use the tricycles have been dumping over there, and we are working with them to organize them to stop dumping over there.
I have been there, and the residents stated categorically that you granted the big trucks permission to be dumping refuse there. Is that right? And why should this be in the wake of the cholera outbreak?
Well, no big truck is supposed to be dumping over there, because we have 2 dump sites at Ghana South and Ghana West where they are supposed to be dumping.
Okay, so is there any penalty? Should you see any big truck, what happens?
Oh, if we see any big truck dumping there, we'll make sure that we deal with them.
Again, one thing we also realized upon getting there was that open defecation was the order of the day. For residents who engage in these things, is there anything city authorities are doing to educate people on open defecation?
Yeah, we've been educating them that they should never defecate over there openly. we don't legalize open defecation. They are supposed to use the public toilets.
The church and residents alike keep complaining that it poses a nuisance to them. So what is the AMA currently doing about this? As cleanliness, they say, is next to godliness.
We are also concerned about people dumping over there. And we've taken the necessary measures to make sure that we even make provision for the illegal dumping by the tricycle people, so that they don't dump over there on the ground. We put measures in place. We brought one of our waste management contractors over there to provide them with containers so that they can dump directly into those containers and not dump on the ground. So we are equally concerned. We don't want that place to be a dumping place, a dumping site.
Caretakers at the dumping site have also complained that the bulldozers that the AMA provided them, one has broken down. How soon should they expect another machine for the refuse, as the one they claim the AMA brought has broken down or has stopped working?
We are working with them to always make sure that their equipment are working. Well, as we are speaking now, it's possible that the bulldozer is already working. As I said, we have a waste management contractor there now working to make sure that all abnormalities over there are straightened up.
And what is stopping the country from using the over 2,800 tons of waste for electricity generation? There seems to be no political will. Why?
AMA currently do have a program to do so under the country project. We do have a program to process our waste into diesel. But the project hasn't taken off yet. But when it takes off, that is exactly what we want to achieve.
How soon will this project kick off?
Well, you have to go to Minister of Finance and pose that question to the Minister for Finance, because he is the minister from whose ministry the approval is supposed to come with the Exim Bank. The minister's office is working on that. But I know every day we are in contact with the Minister of Finance to make sure that we can get the country project approved. Parliament has already approved it. The process is ongoing.
Despite huge investments to dredge the Korle Lagoon, environmental degradation is rife, which is negatively impacting on the overall objective of the Korle Lagoon Ecological Restoration Project. Compounding the problem is the fact that the area is home to food vendors and animal rearers. So we ask, where will this meat end up? This area now accommodates animal rearers and food vendors. How dangerous do you think this will be for people who patronize their wares?
Our public health department is always over there to ensure that, they don't cook food over there and to bring them into the community. We stop them, and we will continue to do so.
We were unable to speak to the chairman of the goat sellers group since his team of workers said he was not available. Little did we know he had gone to hiding when he saw our cameras. Later, he surfaced with a gun to attack my camera person and I. Obviously, we had to take cover.
Currently, I am at Old Fadama. This place was earmarked for dumping of refuse. It was stopped some time back, but surprisingly, it has started. If you can see behind me, there are people talking right behind me. We are being heckled as to why we should come here and put this all-important thing to the public and to address it so that city authorities will come to their aid. Reporting for GBC 24, Rebekah Awuah, Old Fadama.